Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Aaron, and today I want to talk about the Ascended weapon system that we were given in Year 2 Season 1. And I want to basically have my say on it, have my words. There will be a more in-depth review coming soon. However, this is just talking about a little bit about the helm and a little bit about the new Ascended weapon system. So we are going to start with the helm, of course, and the helm, the fact that there's no seasonal reset makes it infinitely worth it. So in previous seasons, we had a reset at the end of each season. It would leave us with 300k pieces of 8, even though a lot of us were in the millions. And then we had to go get the manufactories and all that stuff again. We had to upgrade the boots, which is essentially now a helm tree. We had to do all of it. From each season onwards, it would all get reset, leave us with 300k piece of 8. But now that is stopped. There is no seasonal reset anymore, which I think is much, much better. Now, I see people complaining about how hard it is to get pieces of 8. That is done on purpose because there is no seasonal reset. This isn't one of them systems where you're supposed to have it done in the first week. I have seen some people on Reddit that have actually got their helm done. They must have found a lot of Houston because I am nowhere near having it done, and I feel like I've done a lot of Houston. But my only gripe right now with the pieces of 8 grind or the helm system, whatever you want to call it, but I'm going to call it a piece of 8 grind because I don't really mind the helm tree apart from that one bugged perk, which is like, was it conceive growth or something like that? Which is where you basically go and accept like a manufactory or a hostile takeover that you've already claimed. It'll give you the pieces of 8, and it'll take them pieces of 8 away from you as well. And usually it takes about 3k depending on what level that manufactory is that you already own. Now, with this perk or helm tree perk, whatever you want to call it, once that is fixed, that is going to be a really, really good way of making pieces of 8 because you get about 900 per hostile takeover for if you already own that manufactory, or you get like 900 for the buyout if you already own that factory. I think a lot of people are just waiting for that perk to be fixed, and also that perk, instead of taking piece of 8 from you, it levels it up for free. So it should give you 900 pieces of 8, and it should level up your manufactory for free. So if you have a level 3 manufactory and you go do the buyout, it'll basically upgrade that manufactory and then give you your pieces of 8. And then that will be a solid way of getting pieces of 8 when it comes to the piece of 8 grind. A lot of people are just doing Houston, and that is one of my gripes right now. So I am happy that everyone is finally coming together, but they're only coming together for the pieces of 8, right? So what happens when that tree, the Helm Empire, is fully restored and you've fully got it maxed out? No one will want to do Houston anymore. That is just my opinion, because I know if I've basically maxed out my helm, then I wouldn't. I've done Houston so much, I don't want to do it anymore, and I feel like everyone's going to share that. So I'm thinking if we can get like weekend events, like say the Outer Beast this weekend only drops 5,000 per kill or something like that, something that means that we can go farm other content as a group in order to get our pieces of 8 and our helm upgrades done. Now, everyone doing Houston, even though I'm happy with everyone grouping, doing Houston constantly is super, super boring. So if we can have weekend events, I think that would definitely help. You know, this weekend you go kill La Peste and he drops 5,000 pieces of 8 per kill. I think that'll be really, really handy. And also when it comes to farming PCs, say like for Divine Thunder, if you want to ascend them, you need the Dragon Claws. So that would mean that people can spend the weekend when they're all off work, basically farming the Elder Shadow Beast for the pieces of 8 with a massive group, but also get the claws that they're looking for as well. And I think that would be really, really useful. And also it would introduce more variety into piece of 8 farming. But my current worry is when all the helms are done, because I feel like people are getting close. The casual players will struggle because no one's going to want to be doing Oostin anymore. That's just my opinion. I don't know if that's how it's going to go. All I'm saying is that it's a worry that I have been thinking about. So I think weekend events are going to be really useful, really important, and I hope that we can get some weekend events for pieces of 8 farming at some point. Right, Ascended Weapon System. So this system is positive and negative. First of all, I want to talk about the positive. It's amazing that we can upgrade our weapons. It's a nice resource dump. You know, we can dump our resources in it. Ascension modules, upgrade parts. All this we can get from Oostin. It's really cool. And then Blackwood has your Ascension modules, and he will reset per hour. And you get 8 per hour, I believe. You go to the Blackwood in Tellock, he's got 4. Go to the Blackwood in St. Anne, and he's got 4. And there you go. You've got 8 per hour. But you need to farm the bars, so make sure you're doing Oostin. But in terms of this system for Ascended Weapons, I think it is a positive that we can upgrade weapons. I think it's a positive because we would be struggling in Tier 2 if we could not upgrade weapons. However, I don't think the weapon values are doing all that much. Now, I know people might not agree with me here, and which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. In fact, I encourage everyone to put their opinions in the comments section. But my opinion is the weapon values don't seem to do much. The only weapon values that I've seen that actually hold their own and do the work is the weak point damage, for one, the death blow on the Phoenix Talons to delete elite ships. If you haven't checked my build out for that, make sure you go look at it. And also is the structure damage. I've got a structure build coming soon. So you guys know on a lot of weapons like my Nashcars, I've got 1 weak point, I've got a dire burning, and I've got an amplified burning. Now that burning damage doesn't seem to do all that much, and I know why. It's because the enemy's resistances are just so high, which is why I put dire burning on to lower the resistances a little bit. But is burning, dire burning, whatever you want to call them, amplified burning, are they actually worth it? Are any of the status effects worth it apart from electric? Because electric is what the enemy is weakest to. They do have a little bit of resistance, but for things like burning damage, they have 40%, but things like electric or stormstruck, they have 14%. So there's a major drop-off, which is why electric damage is way better than burning damage. It's just that with the Nashcars and the heliports, you get healing as well, which is why they are so useful to me. Now, in terms of the Ascension weapons themselves, 60 rerolls is not enough. So I have probably wasted about 6 or 7 weapons not being able to get the perks that I wanted. Now, bear in mind, I'm not rolling for percentages. I'm not rolling to get higher percentages. I was rolling just to get the perks that I wanted. And a lot of the, well, not a lot of the times, on 7 weapons, it's failed to give me the perk that I wanted in 60 rerolls. I think these rerolls need to be taken away. I don't agree that having 60 should be the be-all and end-all. Once you've rolled 60, if you're still on your second perk, like I have been on a couple of occasions, you cannot get them rerolls back. Now, if they're going to do that, then they should give us a way to refresh them rerolls, if that's the way they want to go. Or just make it unlimited. You know, let's say, okay, so we can put 2 more Ascension modules, for example, in this weapon, and we get 60 more rerolls, or something like that. You know, something to encourage us to keep dumping stuff into these weapons, but also so we're not wasting stuff. Because the main gripe about that system right now is because I feel like on them 7 weapons, I completely wasted upgrade parts. I completely wasted Ascension modules, even pieces of 8. Some of the Ascensions require pieces of 8 to upgrade. I feel like they need to have a look at the percentages across the board for all the perks. Because don't forget, this is still year 2, season 1. So not everything is going to be perfect. And they might be thinking, yeah, you know what? The perks aren't doing what we thought they would. We might have to buff them a little bit. And I think a buff is needed. The only stats that I don't think a buff is needed is what I said with the weak point, with the death blow, and with the structure damage. I think them 3 are amazing. And also, even though you can turn your little Grace into a bit of a healing beast, I think them values are a bit low as well for restoring. However, I've seen less complaints when it comes to the little Grace because it still does the work, it puts the work in. But with the next level of ships, then our health was increased. So the little Grace will be healing a lot less, which is why when we've ascended the little Grace, it just feels the same. It doesn't feel an upgrade, it feels the same as it did before because the ships have more health. So the little Grace is healing more health, but she's also got her percentages up. So it doesn't feel like that big of a deal, if that makes sense. That might not make sense, but to me, it made sense. Okay. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this. The Ascension modules, all in all, it's great, a great addition. It just needs to be ironed out a little bit, and some of the perks need to be looked at, and some of the values need to be looked at. And then the helm is, in my opinion, great. No more seasonal reset, which everyone is going to love. And also, we need more ways of getting pieces of 8 to get that variety out, so we can go farm other stuff that we need, like claws or whatever it may be. Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new and you want to make your way back to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.